A very warm welcome to you, friends all over the world. How are you feeling out there? But more importantly, how are you feeling on the inside? Welcome to Flourishing. This is a space where you can feel safe to tend to the deeper aspects of your life, your inner life, your world of thoughts and emotions, feelings and perceptions, areas of your life that you perhaps often overlook, but that drive the decisions that impact your quality of life, where you derive meaning from, where you filter your reality through. It's your schema that you have to pay attention to. You see, friends, if we don't pay attention to what's taking place on the inside of us, in our inner life, we don't necessarily see how it impacts our world, our vision, how we see and interpret our lives, our destiny, our dreams, our careers, our relationships. So if you bring your inner life into balance, watch the world around you fall into place. It's so wonderful to be here with you. It's so wonderful to be able to hold this space with you. My mission here is to create a container, to create a safe space where people feel safe to slow down and tend to the interior aspects of their lives. I know some of you out there may be saying, oh, that's very millennial. Oh, that's too new agey. Oh, I don't really like that soft skills. But let me tell you something. If you take your seat in meditation, if you are on this video, then it's because you are already on your mindful journey and you may not even realize it yet. Something within you is already awakening to what is possible within your life. Something within your heart is already resonating as true. Something within your life is already pointing you towards, orienting you towards this teaching of mindfulness, of awakening your heart and your mind to what is possible, of awakening your heart to a boundless sense, of awakening your mind to a luminous sense, of allowing your life to be so radiant that you can step out onto the shore of liberation and freedom. That's what this is about, friends. It's about that freedom. That's what this is about, friends. It's about that sense of being able to be yourself. Perhaps you grew up in a specific background where they've always told you, this is who you are, this is how you should think, this is how you should behave. But you have always said, you know what, I don't necessarily fit this mold. Something is different from me. I want something more out of life for myself than what you tell me that I'm capable of. I want something beyond what my last name says that I should be, or who I should be. I should be able to be endowed with such strength and such power that I can go and meet my dreams. I shouldn't have to abdicate them just because I don't have what's in the right bank account, just because I didn't go to the right school, just because I didn't have the right associations. I still have value and I still have worth. And this is what we're here to talk about today. We're here to remind you of that deeper value. We're here to remind you of your intrinsic worth. We're here to remind you of your nobility, because that is what this teaching of mindfulness is all about. Your nobility. You are of noble birth. That's what it says. It says it, friends. It says you are of noble birth, and nobody can take it away from you because you were noble from your origins. Oh, that feels so good. I know that feels good. It feels good within my heart. It feels good within my mind to know that I have value, even if people look at me crazy, even if people treat me like I'm a threat, even if people they walk away when I come near. It's because they're dealing with their own drama, their own conditioning, their own pain, their own bias. But I can stand in my nobility. I can walk this mindful path and say, critics, come as you may, but I am on assignment. I am on mission. I am moving towards something. I am headed in a direction. I have oriented my heart. I have inclined it towards kindness, even when all it wants to do is stay closed. All my experiences tell me that I should probably close my heart and close my mind and harden my life. and push everything out and erect barriers so that nothing could get in. But the mindfulness that I practice, this journey that I'm on, this Dharma which I have, which has taken root within my heart and within my mind, says, fling open the gates of your heart. Allow kindness to come into your life. Allow compassion to pour in. Allow wisdom. Allow this transformation to begin deep within you. Allow this inner reservoir of power to begin to emerge from you. Allow restoration to take place. Allow renewal to take place. Even if no one else sees, if you see the transformation happening within yourself, then you know you are on the right path. You know you are on the right journey. And I know, friends, I know that I am on assignment and I am doing what I am put here on this earth to be doing, why I've incarnated. I'm here to create these spaces where individuals like you can tend to their inner life, because it's so important. It is so critical. We live in a world, we live in a society that tells you to pretend, to fake it, to coerce, to connive, to do whatever you have to do to get ahead. And mindfulness says, no, something is being asked of you. There is a standard that you must maintain. There is a burden that you must be beholden to, that you must bear witness to the suffering that's taking place within you and around the world. Mindfulness asks something of you. We live in a world that often asks you of very little things, but of the things that really matter, it asks you nothing of. Right? It'll ask you, oh, where do you live? Oh, what do you do for a living? Right? Oh, what kind of car do you drive? Oh, where do you go on vacation? Oh, how was the weather? Right? We'll ask, we'll dive deep into these very superficial questions that really don't contain a depth of value, that don't really contain a vast amount of meaning. But when it comes to who are you? What is being asked of you? What is your contribution that you are giving back into this world? What are the broken areas within your life that you are tending to and that you are helping others awaken to? These are the deeper questions that we must ask ourselves. And these are the deeper questions that society really don't want to hear. These are the type of things that when you hear, you go, oh, this feels like it's going to be heavy. Oh, this feels like it's going to be too much. You know, maybe we do this tomorrow. Maybe we begin to explore this another day. Next week would be much better. I'm dealing with so much right now, and I have too much on my plate. I'm already overscheduled. Look at my schedule. There's no place in Siri. Siri, can I do this? No, not today. Right? This is what we'll do. We'll put it off, we'll put it off, and we put it off, and we put it on the back burners of our lives. But our hearts hunger for this sense of meaning. Our hearts hunger for this sense of nobility. Our hearts hunger to walk this path of awakening, of awareness, of the Dharma, of this prajna power, this renewing energy of wisdom and compassion. It is within us, friends. And you know it. That's why you're here. And people may look at you funny if you tell them that this is what you do. They may not quite get it because they may not necessarily be where you are on your journey. But you are here for a reason, and I am inviting you to take that deep dive, to enter into deep waters. I know it may feel like it's a bit overwhelming, and I know it may feel like it's a bit scary, but it's time to lower the barriers that you've erected all around your heart, and you may have erected all around your mind. And don't get caught up in who I am so much that you forget that this is about you. This isn't even about me. I'm simply here to hold the space for you to take that deep dive within, to begin to reconnect with your core values, to reconnect with your heart, to allow your mind to be free and wide and luminous. Oh, that's why I'm here, friends. That's why I'm here. And I have a message for you. I have a message for you, friends. We're going to get right into it. But before we get into the message, it's so important that we take time to come into the presence of this moment, a presence of being, a presence of bearing witness to your inner life. To engage in this practice of slowing down and paying attention to those things that we often overlook. I know it may be scary and I know it may not feel right because you're not used to it. But this is a safe space to do it. I will protect this space. You can guarantee it. I will protect this space. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm not here to say this is what you should believe. I'm simply saying I will create this container so that you can take that deep dive within and uncover and discover what you've overlooked. So friends, it's that time. Oh, it's that time to slow down and come into the presence of this moment. To slow down and be with your heart. To take a few deep breaths in, a few deep breaths out. Wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Within my heart lives wisdom and compassion. Sing it with me, friends. Wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Within my heart lives wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Within my heart lives wisdom and compassion. Oh, it's so beautiful, friends, to be in this space, to be in this space of wisdom, to be in this space of compassion, to slow down long enough and tend to our inner lives, the tender areas, the places we often overlook. But mindfulness invites us to bear witness to the broken areas of our lives. Mindfulness says that there is value in hearing what cannot be said, in seeing what has not been seen, to stand in the stillness and allow wisdom and compassion to arise. Taking a deep breath in to seal in this presence of prajna power. Inhale. And release. I want to invite you to maintain the continuity of our practice as we continue and transition into our message of encouragement that I have for you today. I loved these times of sharing this message, a Dharma talk, a way-seeking mind. It is an opportunity to impart inspiration, but also to share in the human experience. Right? Here we are on all of these journeys, living all of these different lives, but we're all on this mindful path. And really, it's a return trip. It's a journey within. Whether you're on this mindful journey in a far-flung corner of the world, whether you're on your mindful journey on a mountaintop or in a desert or sitting in traffic or sitting in a cubicle or going or waking up in the middle of the night and not knowing how you're going to keep a roof over your head, wherever you are on this mindful journey, you're welcome here. And so I have a message for you, friends, a Dharma talk for you. And the message is entitled Arriving Now. Arriving now. Whenever you use an app, whether it's Uber or Lyft, or you're getting some food on Postmates or Uber Eats or another app like Grubhub, they'll give you regular updates. They'll say when the food is being picked up. They'll say when your order is being processed. They'll say when your order is on its way. But one thing that they really push, right? They'll send you a text message to let you know. Perhaps you'll get a phone call that is when your order or your ride is imminent, when it is arriving now. They want you to know that this is the time where you have to see, right? You've placed the order. You've been waiting for it and waiting for it. Perhaps it's taken longer than what you initially expected it to take, but it has finally arrived and it's time for you to take action, right? Where you have to step out of where you are, whether you're in your home or your office or somewhere else, you have to come outside and enter into your ride or go grab your food. Right? It is this point of intersection. It is this point of transition. It is a point where you demarcate where you were and where you are and where you're going. It is that intersectionality that takes place when the app prompts you to come outside because your ride is arriving now. And the thing about it is that this often happens in our lives, not just when we're seeking a ride or when we're seeking dinner, but in our relationships and in our career. We've been waiting for a specific job for so long, right? We did all the applications, we've gone on all the interviews, and we had rejection after rejection, right? We have delay after delay. We had denial after denial. But something happened when you finally get the yes. That you can't even believe it, right? You finally got the promotion. You can't even believe it. You don't even know if you're really qualified for it. You start doubting yourself. You start sabotaging yourself. Maybe you even think you may turn it down, right? You finally get it after all this time. You finally get it. It's finally arriving now. And sometimes you don't even recognize it, that this is the opportunity that is being placed before you. You take yourself out of the equation just because it didn't happen when you thought it should have happened, right? You thought it should have happened a week ago. You thought you should have got the promotion 2 years ago. You thought you should have been in a relationship a lifetime ago. But you are here in this space where it has finally happened. The opportunity has met the moment. It has arrived now. And for many of us, we can't even recognize that it's there. Because we've waited so long for it, right? Have you ever waited so long for something that when you finally got it, you went, oh, well, I've been waiting all this time for this. I don't even know if I still want it, right? Because you are in a different space than where you were when you first began that journey. right? For many of you who have trained a long time to become a professional, perhaps a doctor or a lawyer, you had to go through years of training. You started with an initial desire, right? Maybe it was a parent's wish, maybe it was your own internal drive, maybe it was that feel of achievement that you could reach the highest echelon of a career. But when you finally get it, that piece of paper, you go, well, I feel accomplished, but is this really what I want out of my life? Right? Heraclitus, the philosopher, says that one cannot cross the same river twice because you are different. The conditions are different. The circumstances are different. The times are different. Everything about us is in this constant state of shift. The Dharma often talks about this quality of impermanence, that all phenomena that can arise can also subside, that everything is always in this constant space of flux, of movement, of change, of transformation, of being in a fluid space. And when we try to latch onto something, it's like trying to latch onto a piece of a river, right? A piece of water in the river. You stick your hands in there, you try to grab hold of the water, and it comes spilling out all around you. Why? Because it's in its place of movement. It's in a place of flow. It's in a space of transformation. And what you can do when something is in a space of transformation and renewal and flow is that you can't try to hold it. You can't try to dam it. You can't try to subvert it. You can't try to push it back. What you can do is be in the flow. Right? You can let the water come wash over you, right? You can let the wisdom come wash over you. You can let the love come wash over you, and you can be in it, but you cannot stop it. You may try to hold it back for a while, but even the dam has a spillway. Even the dam has to let some out, or else it will go over. This is why it's so important, friends. So critical that we take these times in our lives to slow down and pay attention and tend to, so that we learn to be in flow, so that we recognize the impermanence, that your children won't stay children forever. They're already growing. They're already evolving. They're already moving. You aren't who you were 10 years ago, let alone 2 weeks ago. You are growing, you are moving, you are changing. But a lot of times we're changing towards a hardened heart. We're changing towards a closed mind. We're changing towards inclining our lives to fear instead of doing this mindful practice that says, fling your heart open to kindness and fling your heart open to wisdom, and let down the barriers that you've erected and let down the bonds that have kept you captive and kept you entangled, to step into a shore of liberation and freedom. And so the Dharma says that in Sutra 64 in the Dhammapada, even if all one's life a fool associates with a wise person, one will not understand the truth, even as a spoon does not understand the flavor of the soup. In your mindfulness practice, you don't get it by osmosis. Just because if your parents were mindful, or if your neighbor is mindful, it doesn't change what's taking place on your inner life, right? You must do the work. No one else can do it for you. You can't pay someone to do it on TaskRabbit. They can't do your homework. You can't cheat off nobody. You must begin to tend to your own garden, right? They say in Zen, there are only two things: to sit and to sweep the garden, no matter how big the garden. Many of us have gardens that we have to tame, that we have to begin to sweep, that we have to begin to tend to, that we have to begin to hold space for, that we have to begin to create a container around, so that it can begin begin the process of healing. For many of us, we go through our lives suppressing what took place within our lives, forgetting intentionally what's taking place right now so that we can try to anesthetize ourselves to just make it through the day and make it through the week and into the weekend. We try to do everything that we can to forget. What are you trying to forget? What are you trying to pretend is not there? What is the area of your life that is broken? Where have you placed the barriers around your heart? Where are you broken? Where do you think you cannot be repaired? Where do you believe you are beyond broken? Where do you think that you are not free? That you're not good enough? And that you're not capable enough? And you're not skillful enough? These are the areas that we have to begin to tend to, friends, in a kind and gentle and wise way. That's the invitation of our practice. That's why we do this. That's why we are here. And so the opportunity that you wanted 5 years ago has finally arrived today. And it took so long to get here that you've looked the other way. Friends, it's time to recognize the opportunities within your life that you've been neglecting, whether it be intentionally or unintentionally, whether it be because you're afraid or because you know what's to come, the transformation that is to come. This is the moment that you can choose to say yes to the opportunity, to say yes to what is arriving now, to say yes to giving a new relationship a try, to say yes to applying for one more job, to say yes to going for one more audition, to say yes to going and applying for the loan, to say yes to going out and seeking a new investor, to say yes to getting that Series A funding, to say yes to life and living in a free and kind way, to say yes to being authentic and say yes towards your dream and to say yes towards your vision and to say yes towards an inspired life. What is being asked of you, friends? Arriving now is the answer. What is being awakened within you? Arriving now is the answer. What is next on your mindful journey? Arriving now is the answer. Will you say yes to what is arriving now? Or will you cancel what's there? That's the question. So that is the message. That is the encouragement for you, that in life, things may take longer than you expect to come through. But it's arriving now. The opportunity is arriving now. It's arriving with this breath. It's arriving with this moment. And so I invite you to breathe, receive, and achieve. Breathe in. Receive insight and guidance. Affirm it by releasing and achieving what is possible in your life. Breathe, receive, achieve. Don't forget that, friends. And now it is time to do what we all came here to do. It's time for the meditation. It's time to affirm our lives. It's so easy to beat up on ourselves. It's so easy to focus on what you do not have in life, on what's missing. But the invitation of mindfulness is to pay attention to what remains, what is here. And as I unfold my meditation cloth, if you have yours, I invite you to unfold yours. I'm going to place upon it my journal with the dreams that I have for my life, with the vision that I hold for my future, with gratitude that I have for my lifetime, with the challenges I face, and the struggles that I'm currently dealing with. I place them right here in front of me as a reminder, not as a barrier, not as a crutch, not as an act of weakness or contrition, but to say that I am willing to meet whatever arises, that I will summon the strength to meet what's there. And so, friends, I invite you to bring out your cloth and to place your journal right there. Allow this space to become a sacred space, an altar of your practice of mindfulness, one that you erect knowing that you will take it down, knowing that it will go away, knowing that the power isn't in the physical objects, but it's inhabiting the space, bringing an embodied presence to the space. And so I invite you to come into the presence of this moment, the presence of meditation, the presence of the Dharma. Oh, 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 it's so beautiful. So, so beautiful. I invite you to take your seat. A seat of wisdom and a seat of compassion. A seat of knowledge and a seat of truth. Our meditation practice isn't a sign of weakness. It is not an act of contrition. It is not a sign that you are giving up or giving in, or that you're throwing in the towel, or that you are through. It is one of strength and courage and power. It is an invitation to take a deep dive within, to tend to what needs to be tended to. And so I invite you to slow down and pay attention to what's arising in your life. To notice the sounds and the feelings. To notice what's there. To notice what remains. And now I invite you to come through. You will come through your setbacks. You will come through your struggles. You will come through your rejection. You will come through the denials. You will come through. You will come through. You will come through. May you be happy and free. May you be safe and well. May you be healthy. May you love and be loved. May your heart be boundless and wide. May you have the thrills of 1,000 lifetimes. May you awaken to wisdom and awe. Finding this moment, finding this space, holding this space, tending to what needs tending to. Breathing in and breathing out. You have my word. You have my vow. I will protect this space. I will hold this container so that you can take that deep dive within. Namaste. Sealing our meditation with a deep breath in and release. Nicely done, well practiced. It was such a pleasure to sit with you and to hold this space with you. Well done, well done, well done. And so, if you're on your mindful journey, it's important to remember 3 things. 1, maintain a daily meditation practice of slowing down, paying attention, tending to your inner life. 2, reconnect with your core values. It's so easy to lose touch with them. The Dharma offers precepts, not extending harm, of being mindful of intoxicating elements which cloud the mind, of using wise speech, right? Of being mindful of your energies that you extend towards others and your actions. And the third is to maintain a regular tea ceremony. This is just a way of saying connect with the community. Find community. You don't have to walk this mindful path alone. It's not a solo journey. In fact, the invitation is that you find a group to navigate this journey of life with. And so, if you are excited to be on this journey, I commend you and wish you best of luck on your journey. Here's the thing. Mindfulness says that something is being asked of you. And the cornerstone of this practice is generosity. If you've been encouraged by this message, I want to invite you to support it and to support flourishing in a way that is real and authentic to you, and make a contribution via Cash App at $TeaCeremony, Venmo at Aumrie, or PayPal.me/Aumrie. all of your contributions go to help create this safe space, these containers, these contemplative spaces where people can slow down, find community, tend to their inner life. It's so needed so that we can create a more kind world, that we can create a more compassionate world, that we can create a more loving world. Right? If we learn to be more friendly towards ourselves, if we learn how to practice self-love, then perhaps through reciprocity, we can then extend that to others and be more kind and be more friendly, be more loving to our neighbors, to strangers, until no one is excluded from this circle of mindfulness. So I feel so free. I feel so lifted. You know, I have a day job, and you go through it, but I go through traffic, and I go to the gym, and I try to do right. And sometimes it can just be tough, right? That grind. But I did come and have this moment, and I create this space and connect with others who are also on this mindful journey. And it just feels so wonderful to be able to do it, to be able to create these meditations at these safe spaces. So until next time, may you be happy and free. May you be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong. May you live with ease and well-being. Listen, and if you have it, I want you to write this affirmation down, because this is an affirmation that will transform your life. Say this with me. I have value and I have worth because I am of noble birth. And with this breath, I will awaken to all that's possible within my life. May you lead and achieve. May you lead and achieve, friends, in this life. You will lead and achieve. If you receive it, take a deep breath in. Receive insight and wisdom. Release and achieve. Nicely done, friends. Nicely practiced. Wonderful to be here with you. I will see you again soon. Until then, spend some time living in mindfulness, on your mindful journey. Thank you for taking this deep dive with me. Until next time, namaste.